All right, this is Karnivool, Shutterspeed. I'm just running through the entire Themata album, I think. We'll see how many of these actually get uploaded, but I've really enjoyed the songs that I've heard from these guys overall, and definitely from this album specifically. A little bit more raw, a little bit less progressive, I would probably say, or what I would call, proggy sort of stuff, a little bit more riffy and straightforward, which is definitely my preference. Not that I don't like any of the other stuff that they're doing, but I've really enjoyed what I've heard from these guys on this album. So I'm just going to run through the whole Themata album. Again, this is Karnivool, Shutterspeed. This is an upload from some random person, Amanda Kippen, on YouTube. Thanks, Amanda. But they didn't have it. I didn't see a decent version other than like a really terrible quality version from a old record label. So we're going to jump right in. Here we go. Oh yeah, very riffy right off the bat. Interesting groove here. I mean, I think it's 4/4, but the kick drum is awesome. Oh wow. Dude, I love the way this is mixed. Holy cow. The guitar's a lot less thin in this one. Kind of panning the cymbals. You can hear different crashes on different sides. Okay, back to this root riff. I love the guitar work right now. I mean, they're sticking to this groove, but it's sexy. Ooh, nice way to end that. Now here we go. A lot of bass coming through. The guitar's a little bit faded here. There we go. I would have taken more guitar in that little section right there that was not this main riff. And they clearly brought it back for the riff. Sounds like the bass is pretty much doing the same riff during that section. Not a bad chorus either. I mean, it's definitely got this kind of slow, plodding groove into my head. A little bit of a solo, like a little bit of a lead shining through. Not even really a solo. Wonder if they'll continue. Yep, okay. So it is a solo. Ooh, this is huge right here. Big chords. The big crash. I'm hearing two different guitar tracks. Nice. This is definitely a different sound than the rest of this stuff, like outside of this album. A lot less progressive. That's a nice vocal melody along with everything else right now. They're kind of doing some background vocals too. There's so much energy. Holy cow. I will say he is staying right here with the crash, which, not exactly a complaint. I would take more though, like more variance. Because he's just been doing the same. Just been doing this for like a solid minute and a half right now. Nice, that's a cool ending. Only a couple of instances where I could really pick out some toms, and it was mostly just to finish out some phrases. Overall, again, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that I like from these guys. It's very riff heavy, a lot more, I don't know, identifiable as far as like the structure is concerned. Like a lot more I would say like poppy structure. I apologize for throwing that word out there, but I think most people would know what I mean by that. It's not as predictable, or it's more predictable than their other stuff, which is a lot less predictable. And again, that can be good or bad. Typically, I'm the kind of person that's sitting here saying like, "Ooh, I want to be surprised, and I want to hear something that I haven't heard before, I wasn't expecting in this section." However, there's obviously a place for predictability as well, and common structure. And when it's well done, I mean, who cares? It's not going to be that much of a complaint for me. Guitar work was definitely the shining part of this song. I love that riff. They brought in kind of a subdued, kind of funky, low end riff on the first verse, maybe the second verse. That was kind of hidden in the mix. I would have taken a lot more of that, and I would have taken that like thrown into more places throughout the song as well, just to counteract how often they went back to that big heavy riff, and then the big chords during the chorus too. But overall, I mean, I love the way it was mixed. I don't know what the deal is. Like, this sounded 10 times better than the other YouTube stuff I've heard from these guys from the same album. I expected to have more of the kind of the thinner sounding guitars. This sounded a lot better. I don't know if it's just, a different day of listening to stuff, or this person had a better upload, whatever the case may be. Again, this is Amanda Kippen on YouTube. From the bass work, I pointed it out a couple different times, and for the most part, when they were doing that cool riff that they kept coming back to, it seemed like the bass was following that. Other than that, I couldn't pick out much. I apologize. Drum work, definitely a lot of riding on the crash that I mentioned a couple different times. I will say it got a little bit old towards the end, like the last minute and a half. He was just sitting there, doing quarter notes on the crash. I would have taken a little bit more variance there. There were a couple points in I think maybe the first chorus, or towards maybe it was around the bridge, where you could definitely pick out some additional crashes that he was using beyond just the main one. And it was I think I made a comment, it was sort of panning back and forth, which I love that kind of sound. And there was a lot of cool, bass kick drum stuff going on in the right away in the beginning. I think I made a comment on that. It was just a straight 4/4 time signature, but the way the bass kicks were coming in, offbeat, little syncopation, it might have been even like triplets or sixths, like a 6/8 kind of deal. But it was certainly fitting into the pattern of that just straight 4/4 that anybody can follow. Couple of cool hi-hat grooves. You guys know that I'm all about that. I would have taken more toms in the mix, and probably more kick drum as well. Similar to what I've been saying about the guitar just in the mix being a little bit thin. Typically the bass kicks are a little bit thin too in older, I would say older, metal, older rock or prog rock. And in this song, it's a lot of the same, and I would have taken just a little bit more depth, a little bit more oomph behind that bass kick. Besides that, though, this is awesome. I can't say a whole lot about the vocals. I think I made a couple comments about the vocal melodies. I know they were layering some things in the second chorus, maybe it was the last chorus, I don't remember. But he certainly sounded like he does on the other stuff on this record. But overall, this was a blast. Karnivool, Shutterspeed. I'm really looking forward to hearing the rest of this album. Thanks a lot.